Hi, everybody. This is Adam Elenbaas from Nightlight Astrology, and these are February's horoscopes. So this is the horoscope for Pisces Sun and Pisces Rising for February 2019. Let's go ahead and take a look. Get this out of the way. All right. So two major transits this month, both coming from the planet Mars. One is very beginning of the month, February 2nd. Mars will make a square to Pluto and Capricorn, and then around the 12th, 13th, Mars is going to conjoin the planet Uranus. Now, these are both happening from your 2nd to 11th houses. So the initial square on February 2nd from Mars in Aries to Pluto in Capricorn, Mars is coming from the 2nd house, which is related to money, business, finances, and resources. It's making a square to Pluto in your 11th house, which is a house of friends, groups, and allies. This one indicates a moment of, I'm using the keywords confrontation and catharsis, related to work and business matters to start the month. You may also be looking at powerful events related to colleagues, friends, and perhaps trying to understand the hidden or secret motives, or being careful about your own secret motives around friends, colleagues, and money or business matters. You also want to be careful of, Mars Pluto can be a little bit of a power player and an intimidator. So all I wrote in your written horoscope, I wrote, be careful of any and all pay to play offers you might receive right now. Basically anything around friends, money, and business that could be a little bit manipulative or shady, you want to be careful of, and don't be surprised if there are some moments of kind of deeper, more intense conflicts or confrontations. The god of war in the 2nd house of money, squaring Mars, lord of the underworld, in the house of friends, colleagues, and groups. Now, there's a few other things happening this month that I think are, I have down as the sort of biggest transits of the month. For example, around February 2nd and 3rd, Venus in your 10th house of career will also square Chiron and Pisces in your 1st house, suggesting, again, work relationships or things happening in the workplace, and a level of personal healing or woundedness, or confronting wounds and learning and growth through relationships in the workplace could be pronounced. So you see the same theme sort of repeating in a different way. Then if you go to on Venus enters the 11th house on February 3rd into the 4th. So Venus, goddess of love and friends, entering the 11th house of friends, colleagues, groups, allies, etc. But you've got some really powerful dynamics happening this month around that same theme. For example, on February 18th, go forward and you're going to see that, oops, here we go. On February 18th, Venus and Capricorn will conjoin in the 11th house, which is a serious, deep moment, a moment for deeper reflection, possibly reflecting changing or deepening commitments with allies, friends, and groups. And then on February 22nd, you can also see that Venus gets into a conjunction with Pluto. Again, another moment of transformation among colleagues or friends or within groups. Deep, intense stuff with Pluto, right? Okay, so the area of your friends, groups, colleagues, and allies are very important this month, and it's coming in relationship with money, finances, and business. You can also see, for example, on the 12th and 13th, which I already mentioned this, but let's see it again. On the 12th and 13th, Mars, god of war, will conjoin Uranus, god of revolution and sudden unexpected changes, in the house of business, money, finances, expenditures. So there's definitely some themes of potential conflict or action and decisiveness, and the need to break through or break through limitations or change the paradigm in a radical way around money. around business. Don't be surprised if there's some unexpected expenditures that come up this month. So what month is there not unexpected expenses, right? But at any rate, on February 19th, you will see that the full moon is going to land in Virgo in your 7th house, while Mercury and Neptune are passing through a conjunction around the same time. This brings up the axis of self and other, your personal sense of identity and relationships. So the important thing around the full moon is honesty in relationships. Are you in a relationship where you are being yourself, you're being forthcoming, you're presenting the real you, or are you changing something about yourself to fit the expectations, needs, criticisms, worries, or complaints of other people? Similarly, I think the potential to become enamored by people right now that do not necessarily have the best in mind for you, they don't necessarily, their motives aren't the greatest. That's a potential with Venus going through Saturn and Pluto in the 11th house, and with Mercury, the ruler of the 7th house of relationships, being in its fall, moving through the potentially deceptive Neptune in the 1st house. Just be careful about, who you really get impressed by this month, like who really steals your attention. On the other hand, the potential to learn, grow, heal, and come to understand parts of yourself that maybe lie in the unconscious because of what groups or allies or friends or lovers are able to show you is also there, but the boundaries may not be entirely clear. So you want to be discerning, rational, and careful about personal boundaries this month in particular. So then the other transit, the last transit that I have down for you, which is in line with what we've been talking about as well, is the entrance of the planet Chiron, finally leaving your home sign and home house of Pisces and now entering Aries, where it will stay through the better part of the 2020s. So Chiron, the wounded healer, planet of wisdom, but also a planet that deals with our wounds and our pain, will be entering the house of money, finances, business, assets, resources, time, energy, expenditures. And it moves through this house for a long time, bringing up your wounds, bringing up the possibility for healing and growth, knowledge and insight, sometimes business opportunities that involve something that is something that involves healing work like nursing or therapy or something along those lines. So healing and work, healing and income, the healing and visiting wounds around business and money. So a long, deep process that's going to start there. You've been dealing with Uranus, this planet of the rebel and the revolutionary in your financial house for 7 to 8 years now. So the shift to Chiron in your 1st house or in your 2nd house suggests a deeper level of integration, insight, and healing that's now going to happen in that area. So a big month. The good news is that all year long, remember, Jupiter, your ruling planet, is in your career house and its home sign of Sagittarius. It's a pretty big year for you, a year of a lot of growth. My big concern for Pisceans in the last couple of horoscopes that I've written has been about wanting to grow too big, too much, and losing oneself a little bit in the process. I think that's a possibility. But also just great opportunities for professional growth right now. Spiritual growth as well, or just the growth of wisdom and understanding with Jupiter up at the top of the sky. So top of the chart in your sun or rising sign horoscope, depending on what you follow. So that's what I've got for you, Pisces. I hope that this was interesting. I hope you have a very beautiful month of February. Please leave your comments or questions for me on the YouTube feed. And if you have any stories to share, I'd love to hear them. You could also email me at nightlightastrology@gmail.com. All right. We will see you next month for March's horoscopes. Take care. Bye.